I know you've all heard of mean, median, mode, and range before. These are all called measures of central tendency, and the way they come up with that vocabulary is that you're looking at almost replacing a whole set of data with just one number that could represent the entire data set. So let's look at each of these specifically, and then we'll do some problems practicing with them. Mean is also called average, and you've heard of average before because most of your grades are probably found with an average. But to find the mean, you add up all the numbers and then you divide by how many numbers you had. So write that definition down, it's important. In this example, we're asked to find the mean of the set of numbers. So all you would do is add them all up. And then once you've done that, you're going to divide by the number of numbers, which is just 4. So go ahead and do that on your calculator. I end up with 109 in my numerator, and then if I divide that by 4, I get 27.25. Now, what that means in terms of a measure of central tendency is that this number would be a good representative number to replace this entire set of numbers. Median is usually the middle number. Now, it's important to remember that you need to write your numbers or your data set in order. And once you do that, you find the middle number, and if you have two middle numbers, you just take the average of those two. So write this definition down. And then we're asked below to find the median of the set of numbers. So remember, your first job is to put these numbers in order. And here's what that number set would look like in order. So your job then is to find the middle number. And so it's helpful just to make maybe little check marks or cross them off as you're getting to the center. And in this case, I have two numbers in the center, 37 and 41. So your job there would then be to average them out. So 37 plus 41, and I have two of those numbers, so divide them by 2. Grab your calculator and see that 39 would be your median for this set of numbers. Again, what that means is 39 would be another good representation of this number set if we needed to replace it with one number. Alright, well there's mode. And to find mode, again, you put the numbers in order. It's helpful to do that. And then you find the number or numbers that appear most often. And it's important to note that you can have more than one mode or no mode, depending on the set of numbers. So list those numbers in order. Otherwise, perhaps you can just look at the set and figure out the mode, but sometimes you forget a number and that can be dangerous. So I recommend putting them in order. And here's that list in order. And then it almost looks like maybe 33 would be your mode, but then if you check again, you'll see that 34 has 4 numbers of 34. And so in this case, 34 is your mode. Again, that's a number that could replace this number set and be pretty representative of what was in the number set to begin with. And lastly, we have range. And to find the range of a set of numbers, you first put the numbers in order. You need to subtract the largest number from the smallest number, and that will give you kind of a number that represents how spread out your data set is. So I'll give you a few seconds to write down that definition. And then maybe you can tell just by looking at your number set that 51 is your largest number, and then 32 is your smallest number. And so if we subtract 51 minus 32, we'll end up with 19. So the spread of our data is 19 digits apart. So that kind of tells you, if you were comparing it to another set, how far apart the largest number and the smallest number is. All right, let's practice these 4 definitions. Here's a set of data. I want you to find the mean, median, mode, and range. Show your work if it's necessary, and pause the video now and come back when you're done. And check your work.